Alright class, first off as always, good day. Glad you're here. So today we're going to be looking at again, the early parts of U.S. history. Last week in class we talked about the nomads coming over, through the ice bridge and stuff like that. So we talked about these civilizations, the early ones and stuff like that. Now we're going to be looking at, the Europeans when they actually came over. Now remember, we talked about also at the very end why the Europeans were trying to look for a faster way to China, India, stuff like that. Because again, the trade routes that they had, there was a lot of peril. There was issues, there was problems, there was a lot of danger. So that's what we'll be looking at today. So, again, the essential questions are right up there. The objective today is analyzing the impact of Europeans had on the indigenous people of the North American continent. Okay, and basically at the very end, you're basically kind of conclude in your own mind if investing in a colony was a wise or foul decision. All right, so today we're going to be doing some warm-ups, the lecture, of course, the opinionated questions. We would have these breakout questions. I'm still calling them breakout questions, even though we're not going to be in class. This is all for you online, but I'm still going to call it that. Why? So I can say, I guess, we had a breakout session, but there was no breakout session. And of course, your exit ticket. Okay. So here is your warm-up picture. Again, you should have your Google Doc right alongside this, so you can see this video and have the Google Doc right next to it. All right, so you should see this picture. First question, what do you see? I believe I put down what are two things you see. So I kept it down a little bit because there's not much going on in this picture, but you should kind of understand what's happening. And that's what number two asks you. What do you think this artist is trying to say? Okay. So once you finish those questions, go ahead and let's get ready for the notes. But if you're writing, still pause this video so you can write down all that stuff. All right. So we're going to move on to the notes in 3, 2, 1. All right, now here's the thing. I know a lot of you guys have heard the stories, the myths and legend about Columbus, and we're not going to go too much into detail, but the thing is, I was telling you guys about the Mandela effect, right? You hear things and a lot of people think it's real because they've heard it so many times, and nobody really cares to look into what it is, okay? Now, before I move on, again, remember guys, there are some things I'm going to be saying on this video that probably will be on the test. So it's imperative that you actually listen and not just, oh, this is the notes he wants us to write down and things like that, and then that's it. No, you need to listen because there are going to be some stuff I'm going to be saying, and if you don't hear it because you just pause it and just go move it forward to see the next slide, then, I don't know what to say. That's your fault. Okay? Because you're supposed to be listening to these lectures because there's a lot of information there, and that's part of learning. You're supposed to be watching, listening. Okay, so I hate to lecture like this, but this happened a lot last year, and a lot of students were like, "Oh, you never said that." I said in the video. You never said that. I play it for them. You can clearly hear me saying it, and then they always try to play the victim. And I'm telling you, don't fast forward. Listen, actually listen to the lecture. Okay. So, as you guys may have known, the old poem in the year 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. All right, that's the way you should remember what year Columbus sailed to the New World, quote unquote, New World. All right, now this will be probably a question on your test. What was Columbus? Was he, Spaniard, Italian, French, English, things like that? He was an Italian captain, but he sailed for Spain. He basically convinced them, hey, let me find a faster way west. I'll go this way instead of this way. And Spain just got their independence from the Moors. All right, so they need some money. Spain needs some money bad, and they're like, sure, dude. Now the old myth that Columbus was trying to prove that the world was round, that's false. The people have known that the world was round for years, because of the moon. Believe it or not, they realized, like, if you look at the moon, how come it curves when there's a shadow? If the Earth was flat, it should be like straight flat. Why does it curve? And they basically found out years and years and years and years before that the world was round. How round, they didn't know. How big, they didn't know. That's the thing. But they knew it was round. So that old myth, that's what it is. It's a myth. So he's like, okay, well, we don't really know, so let me try it. Let me go this way, and we'll get to India. So he was given 3 ships. Now this will be on the test. The 3 ships were the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Right, those are the 3 ships. Again, people say, oh, well, Christopher Columbus, oh, duh, he didn't find the New World because there was people here, but he was the first European. No, he wasn't. He wasn't even the first European. That's Leif Erikson. Okay, this will be on your test. He was a Viking from Scandinavia. Okay, I might not ask you specifically where he was from, but I might say like which kind of like civilization did he represent? It was the Vikings. All right. He first landed in Northern America. Okay. Now, Eric the Red, his dad, actually found Greenland, and he was like, well, what's that over there? Let's check it out. And it was Canada. All right. The thing is, Erickson didn't do what Columbus did. Columbus, as soon as he's like, I found a new world. Oh, look at me. I brought this. I brought that. I brought these little people. Look at their little Indians. And he basically told the whole world. Another thing, too, is you have to remember, the Vikings were looked at as barbarians. Okay? So when they're like, we found something, people are like, okay, whatever, little Viking dude, whatever, little barbarian, you're not even smart. Get away from me. You're not civilized. But they did. They did find land. They did find the New World. It's just nobody gave them credit. And also, you have to remember, the Vikings, being being the barbarians, their word didn't have much oomph to it, much meaning. But Columbus, because he was an Italian, and because he sailed for Spain, it just pumped it up. That, Columbus found this new world, and so that, Okay, so that's where that whole stuff comes from. Now, the thing is, Columbus made 3 more voyages. Okay, and yes, they enslaved the people of the islands and some of that where he went to and some of that. He basically did commit genocide. All right, so that part is true. What you hear when people say like, "Oh, Columbus shouldn't be celebrated. He committed genocide, this and that. He robbed his people." Yeah, he did. Okay, so that is true. 1492, the Treaty of Tordesillas basically gave rights to all the land that Spain discovered. Okay, because later on, Portugal is like, well, we're going to explore. So they found like Brazil, and what happened is because both countries are predominantly Catholic, the Catholic Church didn't want them fighting. They wanted them to make money, because if they made money, then the church made money. So what happened was they said, okay, how about this? From this line, that west, that's Spain, because they found it first. Everything east of that, that's your guys's. So Spain just went all out. One of the first people they sent is Hernan Cortez. Now, Cortez, you may have heard the legends about him. He landed in Mexico, became friends with some indigenous tribes that hated the Aztecs, because the Aztecs basically were like bullies in a sense. They were kind of like the mafia. They told the little tribe people, either we conquer you or you give us tribute. You give us stuff, food, jewelry, whatever, And Cortez kind of befriended them and then attacked the Tenochtitlan, which was the Aztecs' homeland. Now, Tenochtitlan was basically like Venice, Italy. It's a city, large city, built on top of a lake. Okay? A city, big city, temples, buildings, huge, on top of a lake. Cortez was like just blown away. He was like, "Wow, these savages, man, they're good. This is amazing." So he was impressed by them, but still conquered them. Fernando Pizarro. Now this guy, 11 years later after Cortez, he goes and conquers the Incas in Peru. What this guy did is basically the way he did this, he captured the head guy, right, of the Incas. Tells the people, if you don't give me everything you have, this gold, silver, things like that, I'm gonna kill him. The Incas are like, okay, well, sure, shoot, we'll give you all the stuff that you want, man. It's not much to us, we don't give a care, And Pizarro ends up still killing the leader. All right. Juan Ponce de Leon claims Florida. The legend is he's trying to find the Fountain of Youth, the El Dorado. There's a legend of City of Gold type of thing. And he goes to Florida to try to find it. He doesn't find it. Okay. So those are 3 conquistadors that Spain sent. All right, now is your question. Even though many Americans know the truth about Columbus, why do you think people still celebrate him in discovering the New World when we already know the truth that he did it? So why do you think people do? All right, so there's your writing prompt on the bottom, and I'm sure you know that, probably may or may not know, but in the news they said that they want to change the name from Columbus Day to Indigenous Day. And people are saying, he was a genocide. He tried to kill those indigenous people, things like that, try to enslave them. Yeah. But again, still some people, no, we should celebrate Columbus because he discovered America. No, he didn't. So tell me, why do you think people still, celebrate Columbus discovering the New World even though they know he didn't? All right. So pause the video if you're still writing. Other than if you're already finished, which you should not be because that was just a short time, go ahead and just let the video run. And those of you guys who are still writing, you have 3 seconds. Right. So 3, 2, 1, we're moving on. All right. Now you saw the map on the last slide. I put it on again because I wanted to show you, because this is going to play a huge role in U.S. history later on. Spain ruled the land from Florida to basically California. So if you look on that map, that gray area, that is Spain. All right, Spain owns all that. And basically all the way down to South America. They own a large part of the quote-unquote New World. All right. Now, the thing is, people from Spain were like, oh, I want to go to this New World and start anew, create my own fortune. Because remember, over there, they have these stories of there's gold and silver and things like that. And that's what they really care about. That's what their big drive is in life, to make money, to make that gold and silver. So when they settled over here, they were given an option. They're like, okay, here's what you can do. You can either do farming, because this land is amazing for farming. You can start mining. There's plenty of mountains and things like that. And gold and silver has been dug there. You can create cattle ranches. Very profitable, very big money, because again, people like to eat their meat. They like to have their stuff, the wool, things like that. But another thing they had to do was spread Catholicism, spread the Catholic religion. That's why predominantly a lot of Latinos are Catholic, is because of that. Okay. Also, the church basically said you need to create missions, to help the indigenous people, the Indians, the Native Americans, make them understand Christianity, help them with their the farming, things like that. Let them see, know the word of the Bible, stuff like that. So missions have been created from the 1600s to the 1700s. And along the California coast, if you ever look at a map of California, you'll see it says like San Marcos, Santa Maria, San Luis Obispo, things like that, because of the name that they're saints. Now, the thing is, a lot of those missions are around there, and they're usually like a day walk from each other. Okay, they're all along the West Coast. Some are still up to this day, so you may want to check that out. It's pretty interesting if you've never been to one. They're pretty neat. Now, if you go back to that map, that we just had, you would see that France actually owned some land. It was that orange section. They claimed that land from basically the Gulf of Mexico and up the Mississippi River, and France and Mexico had, well, let's just say Spain had a relationship. So there was that border with the rivers, and so they kept to that, But then the English, basically sent people, and you guys know the story of the Pilgrims and all that stuff, escaping religious persecution. But the thing is, there's some little hidden stuff to it, right? Like Jamestown. Jamestown, the first English colony, was set up by investors, or joint stock companies. That's what they were mainly known as, but they were really investors. They put money into these colonies because they knew this new world has resources, trees, things to make food. They have all this stuff that Columbus, said, and things like that. So what they did is like, we'll put some money into it so these people can go, but we want something in return. We want some of that timber and some of that, because you have to remember, like countries like England, it's an island, and there's only so much they can grow. The trees take a long time to grow. So there's a new world that has all this stuff, unlimited resources. And they're like, we'll give you some money, but we want some of that stuff back. And they want to make their money back through doing that kind of stuff. Okay. Jamestown's main source of, production wasn't, fish. It wasn't timber, wood. It was tobacco. And tobacco, you have no idea how big it was back then. People were just like, what is this stuff? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And like, it's tobacco from the New World. Wow, this is good stuff. And they just loved it. And they paid top dollar for the, New World tobacco. The old world, quote unquote, old world tobacco is just like nasty, rank, just horrible. But the New World, because of the atmosphere, because of the soil and things like that, it was so much more better. So that became a big money maker. All right, so again, these are the breakout questions, but they're really the questions that it's on your Google Doc. Why would anyone invest in creating a colony? Why would you do that? Do you think it's wise to do that? Think about the real thing. The people you're sending, you don't know really what kind of people they are. You don't pick them. They go. So, that's what I'm asking. Do you think it's a wise investment? Why or why not? Okay, that's the first one. Second question is this question I want you to really think about now. Think something now. What is something you can invest in now that is cheap? Okay, remember, you don't want to invest something all high, the price is all high. You want to go with cheap because your hope is later on it'll be worth something more. So think of something right now that you could invest in that's cheap, that you think would be worth a lot of money in the future. Okay, so think about that. I'm going to be moving on. So in 3, 2, 1. All right, the last thing is your exit ticket. So tell me something you learned today, right? Something new, something you thought was interesting. Now, the thing is, again, I like your guys' input and stuff. I like to know if you guys liked the class, you didn't like the class, you wanted me to explain something more, you have a question on something. This is the time to put it because, it's... It helps me to make your learning experience better. Okay. Now I know it says exit ticket class is supposed to be, home, but still, you're watching it at home. The second half work. So once you're finished, that's it. All right. That's the second half. You guys have a good day. Take care, guys. Please, please, please be safe. Watch out for your families. Make sure they're okay and stuff like that. Okay. Miss you guys, and I'll see you later. All right. Bye.